He is a fucking 17-year-old. Emphasis on the fucking and the 17. Jail. Straight to jail. I will sound nasal throughout this, but I don't have a cold. So just bear with me. I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so let me start by saying that the age of consent in Taiwan is 18 years old. With that in mind, Bai Zhongyi going to jail for fanzery is just the gold standard for injustice. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start over one more time. My name is Nemu-chan. I go to the internet to talk shit about the BL series that I watched. Like, I love them. Like, I love the series that I talk about. That's why I spend time talking about it. But I talk shit about most of them. If that's your thing, like this video, subscribe. I'm trying to build a cult following, and together we will profess our undying devotion to the gay gods. So, Kiseki, Dear to Me, it's a mafia show with lots of hot gay men. Like, what more can you ask for? This is kind of mafia shit that I dig. Intrigue, family drama, revenge. The best thing about this is Wayne and Wang Chunchi is here. They're from Make Our Days Count history franchise. But this time, Wayne died. Spoiler alert. This one thing that I love about Taiwanese BL shows are the cameos, and there's quite a few in this show. So, Bai Zhongyi is a very smart high school student living on his own. He's supporting himself working, living on his own means. He met Fanzuri, who was working with the mafia. When Fanzuri got hurt, actually, Fanzuri blackmailed Bai Zhongyi to help him when he got hurt. That's more accurate. It's a great start, right? So Baisong is a very stoic and can be very harsh, but Fanzuri still ended up staying with him for a while. Because even though Baizongi can be a bit rude, Fanzuri is very charming and he was able to charm his way into Baizongi's affection. Which is inappropriate, by the way, because he's 17. What are you doing flirting with him, Mr. Fanzuri, sir? I know at the start he didn't really mean to, but sir, you should have kept your distance. This is kinda hot, but still, not the point. Fanzuri is too charming for his own good. Like, I honestly want to reach out and tell Bai Zhongyi not to fall for him. Like, he'll destroy your future, my loves. Bai Zhongyi wanted to be a doctor to help his father and his sister. Like, his family got like high expectation of him, and he got high expectation of himself as well. While Fanzuri, like, no one expects anything from him. Like, he's the illegitimate son of a very rich, very corrupt family, and then he went and destroyed this young man's future. Like, great. I will be harping on the whole thing, like, throughout this video. I'm sorry. Like, I love them, but jail. Fun fact, you know how in Chinese drama they call someone Xiaoge? Like, I call my youngest daughter Xiaoge. It roughly means the little rascal or something. Like, I call her that affectionately, I promise. Okay, so going back to the plot, because there's actually a plot here. Fansuri needed to stay longer with Baizongi to lay low and recuperate, all the while being the absolute nuisance of a house guest, like demanding food that I don't think Baizongi would have purchased for himself because, like, he's saving. But he also learned that even though Fansuri looks like a good for nothing thug, he was actually very smart. Like, very smart to the point that he could solve trigo problems, like trigonometry, in case you're not familiar. Because, main character energy. That's just how it is. Like, he's charming, he's good looking, and he solves complicated math problems. What else can you ask for? consent, I think. Okay. Going back, but honestly, Baisong Yi asked Fanzuri to tutor him, but that looks like just him answering all the question. Like, that's not tutoring, my loves. So, there's two possible things that can happen in a forced cohabitation plot. They kill each other or they fall in love. Or actually, third, they keep trying to kill each other until they fall in love, which is like, sure. And even though Bai Zongyi is the close of one, he's very vulnerable. Like, he's young and alone. And with Fanzuri being not only flirty, but taking care of him and being concerned about him, it's kind of inevitable that Bai Zongyi will develop feelings pretty fast. But I kind of like that Bai Zongyi stands up for himself when Fanzuri is being stupid, like when the guy kissed him out of nowhere and was very dismissive about it. He got angry at Fanzuri, and I will be too. Like, Fanzuri was supposed to be the adult here, and he got the nerve to be pissed off. Like, the nerve. You kissed a 17-year-old? Okay. I'll try to stop harping on it. They do have their sweet moments. Just wanted to tuck it in there, just in case anyone is doubtful that I like the show. So they do have their sweet moments. Fanzuri takes care of Baizongi in his own way. Like, why else would Baizongi fall for him pretty fast if he's not really, really sweet? But playing house can't last forever. Fanzuri has a very dangerous life waiting for him with a very dangerous and very pissed off Wayne. I mean, his name is his character's name is Sangtang, but I just want to call him Baby Wayne. Doesn't matter what Wayne does. He always looks like a villain, doesn't he? And my baby Wang always looks like so innocent. Like, I don't care if he's a thug here, he's innocent. Baby Wayne just dragged him into this. Okay, so Fanzuri needs to return to the real world, like his real world. And I hate that he didn't wait at least a day more to leave because Bai Zhongyi was going to bring him home his favorite strawberry cake. Of all the days that he's going to leave, he leave on this day? Like, for fuck's sake, Fanzuri, can't you do anything right? Okay, so since the timeline are not really timing in the shows, I really can't figure out how long Fanzuri stayed and how long he was gone. I think just a few weeks or a few days. But he definitely stayed long enough for Baizongi to get used to him being there, is what I'm saying. Then Fanzuri came back in the weirdest day possible, as if their relationship couldn't be more inappropriate. Fanzuri needed to pose as a teacher in Baizongi's school to investigate an illegal drug ring among the students. I said I'm not going to keep complaining about it, but this show, they're making it so hard. Student and teacher, great. So instead of being a normal adult and keeping his distance, keeping it a strict teacher-student relationship, Fandrui couldn't stay away. Well, I will give him credit. He did try because he doesn't want Bai Zongyi to be involved in the gang and his family. Can't help himself though, can he? He didn't even last an episode of pushing away Bai Zongyi. Like, my dude, I need you to be more firm than this. Like, I don't know, wait until he's 18 maybe. Didn't happen. Spoiler alert. I just really hope Bai Zongyi punched him again when he came back. Like, shown some, might have shoved some sense into him. This is the funniest part of the show, like Fanzuri admitting his wrongdoings. Let's go with that. At this point, they're pretty much dating. Like, Fanzuri cooks for or brings food for Baizongi. They go home to Baizongi's place after school, and Baizongi learned to bake for him. Like, we're just waiting for labels. It's pretty predictable that Baizongi will be the one to admit his feelings first. He's young, and this is his first intimate interaction. So he confessed his feelings, and initially Fanzuri rejected him because he is young. And I wish Fanzuri stood his ground at least until he's legal. But this shows they love skirting the line of problematic and inappropriate. So what can we ask for? Okay, so in the background of all of these, Fanzuri is dealing with his own family issues. He's technically not part of this particular gang he's working with currently. He has his own family that's rich and powerful and very corrupt. So his family wanted him back into their territory on under their control. He's technically like adopted son into this gang group, whatever they are. His relationship with Bai Zhongyi is in this are we in or are we not phase, and his feeling pressure from solving this issue with Wayne or Zhang Teng. And I think he knows eventually he would need to come back to his own family even if he doesn't want to. So it's a lot. He's going through a lot. He wanted to prove that he belongs to this gang life, but no one seemed to believe him. That he's like mafia or gang material, which is a compliment, honestly. He's trying to put distance between him and Bai Zongyi. Didn't last after a few days. So Bai Zongyi seems to have some kind of trauma from his mother's tender love and care when he was a child. She seems to be very free with her words and with her hands. And the storm seems to trigger flashbacks for him. Fansuri witnessed such episode early on in the series, and when there was a particularly bad storm, he couldn't stay away and has to come and check on Baizongi because of course, main character energy, like I said. So Baisong is over this hot and cold attitude, though, of Fanzuri. Like he said, don't make me like you even more. Like, yes, sir, stay away. Not gonna happen. It's going to be really hard when this guy you confessed to and rejected you keeps taking care of you still. It would have been very confusing to him, especially since he does not know the whole picture of what the hell is going on with Fanzuri through all of this, like whatever the hell is going on in the background. So, with all of these emotions from the storm, from the few days that Fanzuri avoided him, now here he is taking care of him. Baizongi just is just done. He just dove right in for the kiss this time, and though Fanzuri resisted at first, he eventually gave in. I think one of the curiouser part of this couple that everyone kept talking about at the time was Fanzuri bottoming. Now, I don't want to promote stereotyping and toxic gender roles, but it's been a running meme. Let me just say, if there's something you can rely on when it comes to Taiwanese BL, is that the skinship will be great. So they did the dirty. Like, watch it, it's a good scene. Watch the behind the scenes, even better. This scene honestly reminds me of Type bottoming for Tarn, if you remember that. Okay, so going back to the story, Fanzuri had the opportunity to meet Baisong's dad and sister before everything comes crashing down. Because the show is being very sweet so far, and you know shit's about to hit the fan. Everything's too bright, it's time to destroy it. They're planning their future and all that. We can't have that. Like, we're only on episode 7 after all. Okay, so before we turn to the incredulously stupid, nonsensical part of this show, let's turn to the second couple, whom, if I'm gonna be honest, I am very partial to. Chenny and ID, I'm living for childhood best friends to lover stories, especially when one of them had been pining because the inevitable emotional breakdown and the confrontation is always giving, which normally translates to sex, really, or at the very least, a very intimate moment. Tell me in the comments what's your favorite Friends to Lovers series. Mine is I can't reach you. It's a Japanese build. So Chenny and Arlie are both orphans, taken in at a young age by the leader of the gang, adopted sons. More like upper level minions, really, if we're going to be very accurate. At the very first, I thought they were already together. Because what kind of looks are these, Chenny? Nobody looks at a brother like that, my loves. Like, let's be honest. And with how cruel and violent ID can be, especially with him continuously insulting Chenny about and him torturing him with spicy food, which is really funny. Like that's a great way of torturing someone. Not gonna lie. I thought it was Chenny who first has feelings for ID with how he looks and takes care of him. But no, Chenny fancies himself in love with the Zaddy gang leader, and ID was the one who's been pining. Color me surprise. And as the story goes on, it hurts so bad to see ID hide how hurt he is with Chen Yi's lack of attention at times and how he hides it behind all of this bravado. The most painful thing to watch was the birthday, like how ID asked Bai Zhongyi for advice at the bake shop, and he was telling him how he had been stood up for a few years. Like I felt that. I felt that in my non-existent heart, honestly. Especially when it was shown that Chen Yi did not even bother to greet him and chose to spend the day with Papa Bear. Like, yeah, I would definitely do the same thing as ID and destroy the cake. And the most frustrating thing is then he turns around and takes care of ID. And I hate this word, but it's the word that fits. Chenyi is possessive of ID. Like he's so fucking stupid and clueless. I'm gonna kill someone. Can I kill someone? Like right about now I wanna sing the song Just a Friend. That part of the lyrics that says this is not what friends do. A fucking Chenyi always acts like a boyfriend. Like make up your mind, sir. So ID disguised himself as a student in Bai Zhongyi's school to help Fan Zirui to finally figure out what the hell is going on with this drug ring at the school. And let me just say that that hair is atrocious. If I'm going to have to choose what's worse, the ending or ID's hair in this, it'll be a close battle. They thought that they finally know who Zhang Teng's contact at the school is, and they can end this. That's what they thought. But my baby Wayne would not go down alive. I mean, Zhang Teng. So baby Wayne found Fanzuri while he was out with Bai Zhongyi. And baby Wayne, being the absolute fucking batshit crazy that he is out for blood and singled out Bai Zhongyi. Baby Wayne looks absolutely fucking mental in the show. Not that he's any better in history, but he was a baby then. Like the craziness was adorable. Now you're just glad he got killed. That's what happened. Fanzuri ended up killing him to protect Bai Zhongyi. And this is the point where I wanted to flip the table and destroy something. Bai Zhongyi ended up taking the blame for the death of Zhang Teng. Like how a gang as powerful as them could not cover up this death without someone taking the blame, I could not comprehend. Like weak ass gangsters. Don't you have some lakes or even a construction site to dump the body in? Like dump the body in the foundation and bury it. Cut it up, spread it across Taipei. Better yet, burn it. Like who's going to look for him, huh? Wang? Like burn that guy with him then. This is pissing me off. Let's back up a little bit because my blood pressure is rising and I don't want to have a heart attack just because of a fucking BL. Okay, so Fanzurui got hurt really bad during the scuffle. His family stepped in to get him medical help, but of course, Bai Zongyi is not allowed to see him in the meantime. And at the same time this is all going down, his dad got hospitalized because of a heart condition. Fanzerui's family and Papa Bear, like the leader of the gang, took advantage of this and offered Baizungi medical help for his dad if he goes down for Fanzrui. Like, I hate this so much. Like, why? Really? Why? Fanzrui can fucking die and join Wayne for all I care. And it's not enough that Baizungi goes to prison in place of Fanzrui. No, the Fan family wants to make sure he's permanently gone in case he spilled the beans, I guess, or Fanzrui gets back with him. Fortunately, survives the head injury, but not without any consequences. He got permanent memory issues, so goodbye to being a doctor, I guess. Meeting and falling in love with Fanzuri really destroyed Baizong's life and future. One of the main reasons why I am so dissatisfied with how they chose to resolve the plot. So because of this attack, ID went in as well to try and protect Baizongi for the duration of his sentence, and also as a way to distance himself from Chen Yi, hoping to finally get over him. Like, I have mixed feelings with their first love scene because Chen Yi is not all there, but some kind of confrontation was inevitable. There was too much pent up emotion and frustration on ID's part, and their interaction had always been explosive in some way. It was either fuck or beat each other up. So ID packed up and went to jail for what? I don't know. I don't quite understand that part. Did he admit to being an accomplice? Like, who the fucking knows? So while Bai Zongyi and ID was in prison, Chen Yi discovered ID's feelings for him because he found gifts ID kept and never gave to him. He tried to reach out and make up for how much he's been taking for granted ID and his affection. He even brought him a cake with candles for both of them, like ID used to do, like the one he prepared, but ID's not having any of this. And honestly, fair. Baizungi and ID are better off without Fanzuri and Chenyi. Where is Fanzuri during all of this? Pretending to lose his memories, the absolute fucking coward. Oops, sorry. Well, not really. And I hate that Chenyi is more upset that he disappointed Papa Bear. Like, fucking Bai Yi is going to prison and he's innocent. That's what you should be caring for, Chen Yi. This turn in the plot honestly does not make sense to me. It's all dramatics and it doesn't work plot wise because it's so stupid. Okay, so 4 years went by. We're in the present time now. Yeah, because technically the rest of the series, or the first part of the series, was a flashback apparently. Can I just say though that Michael is so pretty? Okay, so 4 years. Baizungi is back with his family. ID wants a separate life from Chenyi, but Chenyi would not let him. And Fanzuri, I don't care. I don't care where he is. Playing Michael's secretary, I guess. A lot of the latter part of the series is actually more of Chenyi and ID's relationship. ID wants nothing to do with Chenyi anymore, but Chenyi is not going to have any of that. Chenyi just wants to forget the whole thing, as it was obviously very painful to him, but Chenyi wanted to clear things up and to have ID stay by his side. And Chenyi's not above a little manipulation to get his way, but I don't think he needs it. If he just pursued ID honestly, ID will come back. The guy loves Chenyi for a long time, and 4 years didn't change that. He's distancing himself not to be hurt again. That's all. So Chenyi is on pursuit, and while I respect the grind, those gifts are questionable, especially the pillowcase. Reminds me of those hentai body pillows, but I lost a bit of respect for Chen Yi through all of this courting. But like I said, I admire the grind, but I think the sweetest thing he did is learning to eat spicy food, something he could not tolerate before. And I think that's what did it for ID too. I couldn't be sure since after the scene, Chenry restrained ID. So who could tell, right? Okay, so let's go back to Baizongyi and the Fanzuri. Baizongyi came back to his family, and his family was just really happy to have him back. And they also feel very guilty, especially his dad, with what he had to go through just to get medical help for him. And they learned that Baizongyi is not unfortunately going to be a doctor because of his memory issues after the head injury. So he told them that he plans to open this bake shop. And it's pretty obvious that he's opening this bake shop to wait for Fanzuri, which is really heartbreaking because he knows that Fanzuri does not remember anything, but he's hoping that once he remembers, he'll come back to him. Fanzuri really did a number on this kid. They accidentally met once, like Bai Zongyi and Fanzuri, but Fanzuri pretended not to know him, which is honestly so heartbreaking to watch for Bai Zongyi's part. Like, what the hell are you doing, Fanzuri, sir? I'm really going to send you straight to jail at this point. Like, Fanzuri obviously feels really guilty, not that I care, about what happened. It's not enough for me, and for honestly, just too much happened in Baizong's life for him to now turn around and leave him and pretends that he doesn't remember anything. I don't care what the reason was. Like, of course they provided a very convoluted reason as to why he's doing it. They all of this to bring down his family, whatever. Don't care. But you know what I want? I want Michael's office chair. Like, that's just so pretty. Like, I have a pink one. I have a pink gaming chair, but I really need a replacement. Not the point. Not the point. So Michael's character is Fanzuri's younger half brother. I just realized that. Um, I don't know his name though. I didn't note it. So he's the one who contacted Bai Zongyi and revealed that actually Fanzuri remembers everything. And you know what Bai Zongyi did? Run back to him. I would be livid if I was Baizongi. I went down for you for a crime that you did. Yes, you did it to protect me, but I'm not going to be in that position if it's not for you. Then you pretended for 4 years to not remember me? Like, what the hell was that about? I'll be fucking livid. But no, Baizongi is too in love to react like a normal human being. And so he just went and reunited with Fanzuri. And I'm not really happy about how that got resolved because I would have preferred that Fanzuri was the one to approach Bai Zongyi. Like, he owed him at least that much for him to be the first one to approach him and resolve this and go down on his knees and beg for forgiveness for destroying this kid's life. That's the least he can do. Because honestly, Fanzuri has been half assing this relationship right from the start. And the least that he could do was to be the one to resolve this. But no, Bai Zongyi have to be the one to approach him. What a coward. I'm on Dad's side. Like, Dad has a lot of misgivings about this relationship, and I have a lot too. Yes, Fanzerui killed Sangteng for Bai Zongyi, but he is in that situation to begin with because of Fanzerui. He could have a better life, honestly, if he never met him. And it's so funny to me that Michael's character, whatever his name is, I'm sorry, Michael is arguing about Baizungi deserving someone better than Fanzuri, which is agree. But I mean, Michael, do you wanna talk about Fuyongje? Because we can. I got time. talk about deserving someone better, right? For anyone who does not know the reference, that's History franchise. What's the name? Closer to you or something? I forgot. I'll talk about it in a future episode. So Baizong went to Fanzrui's room, and at first he thought he took some was that sleeping pills with his alcohol. And for him to jump to that conclusion, Fanzrui is has a very dangerous state of mind. Honestly, like I'm not an expert, but he seems to have passive suicidal ideation, which only which is also highlighted with how the rest of this played out. Or maybe Fanzuru is just plain stupid. I couldn't tell at this point. Okay, so they're now together again, and one of the crew or the service crew in Baisongi's bake shop was his previous classmate, Sinning, I think is her name. She turns out to be Zhang Tang's, like baby Wayne's sister. So she was actually there to get revenge, I think, for Bai Zongyi because she's thinking Bai Zongyi was the one who killed Zhang Tang. But he overheard ID and Bai Zongyi talking about him taking the blame for Fanzui. Because, no one seems to talk in private in the shows. Everyone is just talking their shit where everyone can hear it. So Sinning went and looked for Fanzuri and tried to kill him. And Fanzuri just let her? Right. He said it's guilt, but yeah, I can understand that. But honestly, at this point, do you want to go to therapy, sir? I'll pay for it. So this just, obviously, Fanzuri survives just in case anyone thinks that is going to end up with him dead. No, this is a BL. Everyone ends up together eventually. So Baizong is not happy with Fanzerui just taking taking the attack without um defending himself and thinking that he deserves to die because of what he did to Sangtang. I will agree if this is the kind of guy that you're if this is the state of mind of the guy that you're going to spend your life with, I'll be worried too. Like I said, therapy, sir. It'll do you so much good and I'll pay for it. And that's how it ends. Weird. Very, very weird. It doesn't give me any satisfaction, this ending that they took it to. Other than of course Chunyi and ID being eventually together and happy and sexy. Baizungi and Fanzui's storyline, I'm not satisfied with it. I needed them to do more to resolve this and to resolve it properly. Especially since the theme of this show is quite problematic with I know their age gap is not that great. I think it's just like 6 years or was it 7 years? But still, this all went down when Bai Zongyi was a minor and his future was destroyed because of this affair or relationship. I don't know what you want to call it. And having them end it this way with their storyline is irresponsible because we couldn't ignore problematic theme and not provide it with a resolution. It's problematic on its own. When problematic themes like lack of consent are depicted without critic or consequences, audiences may become desensitized to these issues, viewing them as normal or acceptable. And for those who said that it's not non-con, let me just say again, even though I've been harping on it throughout throughout this episode, is that Baizungi was 17 when all of this starts. It reinforms a negative norm. Because like I said before, media has a very powerful influence on societal norms and behaviors, and failure to address these themes is very critical. It reinforces harmful stereotypes and behavior and put it in a light that it is desirable, which is it's not. I hope everybody knows and understand that. But that's the thing. When we leave problematic themes like this open ended in shows that are very popular, it it puts it in a light that is acceptable and desirable. Young or impressionable viewers may not recognize the problematic nature of certain behaviors and might misinterpret it. Like I as an adult knows that this is not okay, that yes, this is a fantasy and it is not supposed to happen this way. But if we're not very clear on that, on the storyline itself, it gives misinformation or a wrong impression. I think that creators have a responsibility to their audience to depict issues like consent responsibly, and failure to do so can perpetuate harm. All I'm asking at the end of it is responsible storytelling and the potential consequences of neglecting to show that certain themes are problematic. Okay, so I'm just editing now, and I did not like how I ended this particular review, so I'm recording this. And I'm putting it at the end, towards the end. So it sounds like I did not like the show, and I did. I think I've mentioned it previously that I don't even finish watching things or shows that I don't really like. I don't give them time at all. And I've watched Kiseki Dear to Me a few times. I really love these characters. There are just some themes to it that I think was not resolved properly, and that's very irresponsible, especially with quite a few young impressionable audiences that BL have. Baizongi and Fanzerui's characters are really great, especially Baizongi's journey through all of these. I just honestly think that Fanzuru is just a weak ass character, and he should have a different um character development to be better for Baizongi. And I think I did not emphasize enough how much I love Chenyi and ID's relationship. Because yeah, I prefer them, their dynamic at least, than compared to Fanzuri and Baizongi's, because like I've mentioned, the resolution of their relationship or their plot line just takes away so much with how great the characters are. And that sometimes happens with this kind of shows. Like you got a really really good character, and then the plot's nonsensical and stupid and does not resolve itself properly. So, all in all, I would really like to see Kaisu and Taro in another series, but I think both of them are really busy right now, especially Kai. I've seen his Instagram post and he looks to be doing a lot, but Nat and Luis, I really wanted them to be in another series that's just with them, because their chemistry sizzling hot, honestly. So yeah, that's all I just wanted to say. I just wanted to emphasize that I really like the show. It doesn't sound like it, but I think that's honestly how I sounded through most of my review and commentary. It feels like I don't like a show, but if I'm talking about it, you can be assured that I love the show, or else I'm not going to spend hours and hours talking about it. Well, that's it again for me. I think I'm going to end it there. What do you think about Kiseki Dear to Me? Who's your favorite couple? Is it Baizongi and Fanzuri, or is it Chenyi and ID? I know a lot of us has second couple syndrome, which I have for this particular show. Comment down below. If you don't know what to comment, just comment strawberry. That's it for me. You'll be hearing from me next time. Drink your water, keep yourself hydrated. Bye bye.